Carrera still in front. Sensuous getting up on the inside. Corrupted the outside, trying to hang in there. And then Cluden Creek and the Mighty Lions right down the outside. Sensuous, look at Belair getting a split. Cluden Creek on the outside is going with it. Belair the inside. Cluden Creek on the outside. Ebony on is arriving the last little bit. Cluden Creek and Belair fighting it out. Cluden Creek lands some very big bets. They've done it. Cluden Creek and Andrew Calder have taken out the Lion Brown Wellington Cup of 2004.
Super Group 1 winning times there for Andrew Calder aboard Cluden Creek, winning the Wellington Cup, described by Tony Lee, in 2004. In 2019, he's on back in a flash in the Ag Challenge Stakes. And Andrew, as you say, good morning to you. You've been aboard her in all but one start, and she must really impress you for you to commit to her.
Yeah, look, she's a real find in the winter, and she's pretty untapped at the moment. She's only had a few starts for a 4-year-old mare, and yeah, we've been waiting for the wet tracks to come, and today it looks like she's going to get conditions to suit her perfectly. She
was very good at Rotorua, winning a couple of starts ago. It was a wide margin win. How did you assess her performance last start?
Yeah, the track only came up sort of more holding, and so it was only slow. And from an inside draw, I dug her out, and to be quite honest, it's a race every time I watch a replay I sort of get annoyed at again, because she was just so full of running, and she should have run a place for sure. She should have won the race. And yeah, we've seen some pretty special runs from her in the past, and yeah, she can pull one out, and I think today I don't really mind if she doesn't pull out a real special run. As long as she wins, I think she will be winning.
It's good to know. I mean, you see late she is doing some very good work. How do you see this race tactically? Because in many respects, look, it's going to be race 8. You'll have a good idea as to how the track pattern is. Barrier 2, normally you'd probably be happy with, but does it have the potential to be a bit niggly that time of the day?
Yeah, it really does, and there's no sort of clear leader in the race. The speed map sort of is a bit up and down. You could sort of see a couple that could go forward with no sort of clear pacemaker. Wouldn't worry me if she was sort of forward a little bit more today, and she can. Like Rotorua at her third start, she jumped out, and I probably should have led on her that day, and I opted to take a sit on her and let poor Manzabeel lead, and it was another one of those small, tricky races, and tactically she just got held up around the corner and didn't quite sort of get into the clear. And today's going to be a whole different ball game. They're going to be the fittest horses by about 600. They'll be stretching out, and the ones that are going forward will start to come into it, and the rest will be sort of going backwards. And wouldn't worry me if she ended up either leading or sitting second or third, because the last few runs she's actually been clearing the gates a bit better, and she looks like a mile wouldn't worry her. And I just don't think we want to sort of be getting too tricky and getting out the back and getting too tactical about it. I think she's better off if she's just travelling good and getting through the track, and I think she's the best winter galloper in the race, and just give her the clear run and clear air that she needs.
You touched on something that I was going to ask you about the 1,600 metres and whether you think that poses any issue at all.
Almost, I think it's going to help her. She just, early on, she was running 1,400s and always looking like that was everything she sort of needed, but she always looked like she needed further. So I think the mile will be nice, and I do think she'll stretch out a little bit further later on. She's a big, strong mare now and got a fair bit of sort of height to her and scope to her, so we'll try her. Keith Ovey did say to me that he was happy to try her over ground, probably more like the end of this preparation, but certainly the mile will pose no threat at all.
You've gone through the form. Are there any runners in particular that you're sort of a little bit wary of?
Oh, look, there's some really nice gallopers in there. Scapolo's, he's seasoned, he's been around. Dulceto's been around. Taurus, they're all very old, well weathered. They'll handle the wet track. Rosewood goes great. It's a really quality field, and you can't sort of go in there too confident. But I do think I'm on a horse that's got every amount of ability as any of them, and she's on fresh legs. So no, I think whatever sort of gets the best run. And I'm not too worried. Sort of drawing the inside, run that mile starts not always a hindrance either, because you can sort of get out there and you're not covering extra sort of 50 metres by the time you get to the outside rail. And having a look at the clouds outside, they'll be on the outside rail very quickly.
You've got a couple of other rides on the day, of course, back in a flash. The primary reason for you being at Whanganui, Road to Rain in the first for Jeff Humphreys. And another intriguing horse in the third for the Opies, Bewitched. Now, what have you heard about her chances? Because she was a cheeky fourth at Rotorua Fresh Up.
And it was a good run. Like, she covered ground, she got back and she made ground home. And Speedy Meaty come out, he won the race and then flanked the form in the Cambridge Breeders at its next start. All he said to me was she'll be going down there and she'll love a wet track. So he's very happy with her. Her work during the week was very good, every bit as good as he was happy with back in a flash. So I think they're quietly sort of expecting a good run. But she's another mare that's just been a bit out of form. But if that last run was anything to sort of go off, she may be on the way back. And it just looks like a really tough sort of slog day. And she's a well-seasoned mare as well.
Well, you put your, I suppose they don't really give plastic bags away at the supermarket anymore. Have you got an accumulation of plastic bags that you can put on your shoes and have a walk of the track?
I'm quite happy just to have a few rides and have new gear each time. But yes, I've got some boots there, and yeah, I'll be putting plastic bags on to go and have a look at it in a minute. Oh,
good. Andrew Calder, hey, thanks for your time this morning. All the best today. Back in a flash is his key ride, and sounds like Bewitched might be worth some consideration at double-figured odds there. It's $14 right now on tab.co.nz, and as Andrew mentioned, that wasn't a bad fourth at Rotorua Fresh Up at all, which signalled that maybe she has come back well. She'll appreciate the heavy track and worth considering.